and I want to thank you all for tuning in to the second episode of The Booze Geek. I am your host. My name is Charles. And if you guys are watching this, it means either A, you were able to survive my torture and my BS of the first episode, or B, you really like beer. But either way, I'm glad you're tuning in, I'm glad for the support, and I'm glad you're watching. But this is almost like part two of a two-part episode from an old TV show from like the 70s. I don't know, like The Incredible Hulk or something like that. Because in both of these episodes, I'm reviewing two similar beers from the same brewery, Bell's Brewing in Michigan. So in the first episode, I tasted and reviewed one of their flagship beers, their Two Hearted Ale. This beer is a dynamite knockout. I gave it a 10 out of 10 on the pint-o-meter. But in this episode, we're going to taste and review one of their more unique and harder to find beers, its cousin, the Double Two Hearted Ale. Now this beer is only released 1 month out of the year in August, and it is really hard to find. But this has double the amount of fun that everything that its Two Hearted cousin has. So it's 100% Centennial hops, but 2.5 times the amount. The ABV is higher at 11% as opposed to 7%, and the IBV is slightly higher at 80 as opposed to 60. So I'm really glad I'm getting to try this beer because it is hard to find. So I'm going to crack this open and let's see what's going on. Okay. Ooh, I'm already liking the color on this. It's definitely a darker hue. Excuse me, I almost fell off the chair. It's definitely a darker hue than its Two Hearted cousin. There's definitely more amber in the color, where the other one was just a really darker color of gold. I'm going to give this a swirl and give it a nose. Okay, so it's similar, but it's different. I'm definitely getting up front the stringy, earthy pine, which the Two Hearted Ale had as well, followed by a little bit of grass. However, in the Double Two Hearted, the citrus on the nose is definitely more present. There's a candied orange that's in here and a little bit of grapefruit, but it's definitely more present in this than it was on the Two Hearted Ale. So I'm going to give this another swirl and see how the flavor profile compares. Okay, number one, it's a heavier drinking beer than the Two Hearted. It actually drinks almost more like a barley wine style ale. It's really oily. It's really syrupy. I don't want to say that the beer is full-bodied, but it's medium-bodied, but it's definitely leaning towards full-bodied. It's on the borderline just because of how thick it actually is. Now, similar to its cousin, the Two Hearted Ale, the flavor profile is definitely following the nose or the aromas. I'm getting that stringent, earthy pine. It's just more prominent. I'm getting a little bit more grass. It's just more prominent. However, the citrus, like again, is bounced up a notch. I'm getting more of the grapefruit. I'm getting more of the orange zest. But on the back end, I'm getting, it's almost a woody flavor. I'm getting more of sandalwood, followed by a little caramel sweetness. But the sandalwood is actually pretty prevalent and more than I thought it would be. Actually, it's something I didn't even think would be in this. But it definitely is there, and it is kind of throwing me off. Now, I'm going to give this one more swig to make sure I got what we got. Yeah, actually the caramel sweetness is coming out a little bit more now that it's opened up a little bit. So, as I mentioned, I rated the Two Hearted Ale, and I gave that a 10 out of 10. That was near perfect. I mean, the balance, the flavors, the aromas, everything was there. This one, not so much. This one, I would give this a solid 8 out of 10 on the pint-o-meter for a couple of reasons. I don't think the balance is as smooth as the Two Hearted Ale. Also, with that presence of that sandalwood, for my palate at least, I'm not digging that. It's not bad. It's different. I like it, but throws off, I think that's what's throwing off the majority of the balance here. And also, it is a little heavy. For this type of beer, for a double IPA, it's a little syrupy, almost too syrupy. It's a little heavy drinking. This is borderline, a nice beer after Oktoberfest or around Oktoberfest, maybe in the winter. Summertime, it's a little too heavy for me. But like I said, I'm really glad I got to try it. 8 out of 10. Bell's, I love Bell's Brewing. It's one of my favorite. Hell of a job. Little unique. It's a hard to find beer. Seek it out if you can and definitely try it. I want to thank everyone for joining in for the second episode. There will be many more to follow, and hopefully if you tolerated this, please come back for the next episode. I promise it won't be a 3-parter, but in the meantime, you can follow me at the website, www.pubstohaveapintin.com, just like the book series, or the blog, www.pubstohaveapintin.blogspot.com. And once again, thank you for the support. Thanks for joining in to the second episode. There's more to come. Raise a pint. Cheers to you. Have a great day, and we'll see y'all soon.